I heard a funny case this morning. You know, in a relationship, when heavy drinking leads to loud arguments every time, it's a problem the couple must face. The people I met today moved all the way across country to get away from each other, and avoiding their problems brought them right into divorce court.
Divorce court is now in session.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here today with Maneika Dooley and Lee Williams. The two of you have been together for 5 years. In that 5 years, you've been engaged twice, prepared 2 weddings, canceled 2 weddings, and that's why you're here today. You're leaving him for good, and you want him to pay for half of the cost of all the weddings that you've canceled. So that's why we're here. Ms. Dooley, I'm going to start with you. Why don't you tell me a little bit about the course of your relationship and why you're calling it quits totally today?
The reason I'm calling it quits is because I went through the moon and back for this man. I just want everything to work, and it's not working. The first wedding was planned off of us getting engaged, and that first wedding got called off for the fact that he was drunk and passed out.
Were you drunk and passed out when you were supposed to be getting married?
At the time, I was having a little bit to drink, but at that time, we had no plans to get married at that time. I think.
So you weren't under the weather on your wedding day? That's what she seems to say.
No, we were supposed to get married. It wasn't on that day. We were making plans to get married. But then when she came home and she found me like how I was, and she got mad.
Before the wedding, he was drunk and laid out in front of your family members, and it upset you when you called off the wedding.
Yes,
and he was supposed to be taking care of the kids.
Yes, especially
were they all under? Were there little kids at the time?
My kids at that time were my kids are 10 now. They might have been 7.
Oh, so they were small.
They
Mr.
were
Williams,
small.
were
They
you
were
drunk
younger.
when you're supposed to be taking care of the kiddies?
I was drinking that day. Yes, I was. But then there was also other family members in the house with us.
So you felt since you're not the sole adult, you could go ahead and get inebriated and it'd be okay.
There was one.
Yeah.
Right.
Does it ever bother you that your kids would see you all fall out drunk?
You know what? It does. It really does. And, and I've tried multiple times to stop, and I know that's a problem that I have, and I know that's something that, I'm working on.
Okay. Is that one of the primary reasons why you two can't quite get it together, is because he does have a drinking problem?
Yes, because I love this man, and his family members want to blame it on me that he drinks, but it's not my fault because he's been drinking way before he even got with me.
Okay. Mr. Williams, what do you say is the primary problem between you and Ms. Dooley?
I think the primary problem is pretty much like just her attitude about things is just.
Tell me about her attitude. Give me an example.
An example of, okay, one night we were supposed to go out, and, I went out with family members, and she did her job. She pressed my clothes and everything for me, and then we're supposed to meet at the club. And so one night, on that night, I go out and, family members were doing things that I didn't agree with. So I removed myself from the situation, went to the burger place, and we just had a burger. And then at the same time, she just comes in. Well, you're not where you supposed to be. You wasn't here. You told me you were going out with your family, and you're not where you're supposed to be. And I was like, you know what? I didn't feel comfortable with the type of things that they were doing.
So I removed myself from the
situation.
But why not call your wife?
I go. To the burger spot, and then, here she comes like, you're not supposed to be where you're supposed to be. And
well, were you supposed to meet her at that place?
I was.
At the other place? Did you call her and say, hey, babe, I'm not there, I'm someplace else?
At that time, my phone was dying.
No.
And so, eventually,
well, how did you expect her to find you?
No, it wasn't.
Huh?
How did you expect her to find you? And how did you find him?
Your Honor, the way that I found him
Come to think of
this
it.
way. One, it was his birthday. And I'm sorry, I don't go out on my birthday looking like trash, so I don't expect my man to go out on his birthday looking like trash. The way that I found him was because my family member was messing with his family, and that's how I got a hold of him, was through his other family member.
So his other family member was there with his family members.
The family member he was with that I knew I could contact still is where he should have been. But no, he was around the corner doing this and that.
Wait,
but
now he said he had a burger. Now,
was
isn't
at
that a
the burger
reasonable?
spot.
I mean, it wasn't
No.
like he was around
I
the
was
corner
at the
with a
burger
woman, or
spot.
he was
Right.
around the corner with a
No.
bottle.
Right.
He was
No,
around
no.
the corner with a burger.
There's a
burger.
phone. Your phone was not dead. You have a phone to call, and if I'm calling
Let's
your
say
phone,
he was inconsiderate about that, but he removed himself from a sticky, dicey situation.
Right.
But don't
even
you?
if I remove myself, I'm going to make sure that my man knows where I'm at.
But it's a small thing. He overlooked it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He
It's not
snuck
a small
out
thing,
before the
Jay.
police came, you know. He was like, woo! And he sat down and he ate his little burger. He didn't
That's what
call
he's
you
telling
right
you.
away.
Right.
No, he didn't.
And
Okay.
When she walked upon me, I was at the burger spot,
Doing nothing wrong,
doing
right?
nothing wrong by myself.
When I found him, thanks to somebody else, no, somebody else called him. Eventually, he answered his phone. He did not answer none of my phone calls, anything.
Do you think he was doing something wrong?
I don't think he was doing anything wrong. I just think that the fact that it was your birthday and your wife had, or your fiance had everything laid out for you, you should have been there too. Why go out looking like a bum on your birthday? Who does that?
So you're more mad about the fact that he didn't come home and change into the clothes that
It's
you would
not
iron
even
for
that.
him.
I'm mad for the fact that he left, period. He left with these family members that are in question that he's talking about are the same family members after I had my son and everything else. These same family members make him do what he wants to do. He doesn't think for himself. He's the oldest of all of us.
So what
doesn't
what you're
think for
saying
himself.
is his own family is a bad influence on him, and you wish he'd stay away from them.
I won't say stay away from them, but yeah, you can conversate with them, but you need to have a limit. You need to make sure that you know where you are and what you're doing.
Oh, okay. I'm in total control of what I'm doing at all times.
But no, you're not. You just said you were drunk and passed out with the kiddies.
No, okay, except for when I'm drinking. But
But you're drinking a lot, aren't you?
Pretty much just on the weekends. I don't drink all day, every day.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It's like Friday, Saturday, football, Sunday.
Well, we're going to
About
talk
it.
about that in just a minute.
I went through her phone and I opened up her social media, and here it is, you know, picture of another dude, you know what I mean? And all his private parts and all that stuff.
Did you have a picture of a dude with his situation all out on your telephone? Mr. Williams, you say even after all these years, you still struggle with trust issues with Ms. Dooley. Why don't you tell me why?
Well, one night, you know, we were having a good night, and it was a peaceful night, you know, and then I went through her phone and I opened up her social media, and here it is, you know, picture of another dude, you know what I mean? And all his private parts and all that stuff. And so I questioned her on it, and what she told me was, I don't want to talk about it. So I leave it alone. I'm like, okay, we ain't got to talk about it, but, you know, eventually we going to have to talk about it. And she told me, you know, it's just a friend from the past and this and that. And so I'm like, okay.
Did you have a picture of a dude with his situation all out on your telephone?
Yes, and I had
And what were you
friend-
doing with that picture?
Well, was I doing nothing? Because if I was doing something with it, it would have been deleted. My thing to him is, though, when we talked about it that night, I asked him not to talk about it
Actually,
because
we
we
didn't
were
talk
in
about
his
it.
Stop.
we were in his family member's house where I had no family or anywhere else to go. So I asked him to wait till the morning to talk about it.
And in the morning, did you talk about it with him?
Nope.
I was willing to talk to him
No.
about it once we left
No,
the
no,
house,
that's
but
not-
I'm
Well, why
not
don't you
gonna do
talk
that.
to me about it?
Right.
Who would send you pictures of his situation?
A friend from the past, like years and years ago, and he just
And just
did it.
all of a sudden, you popped into his head, he
Actually-
dropped his pants, snap,
Actually, first,
and
look,
pressed
actually
send.
first,
Is
from
that
the
what
message,
happened?
Look, she sent the picture first to him,
What
like reaching
picture?
out.
Of my face?
But she sent
She
the picture.
reached out to
I
him
sent
first.
him a face picture, and he sent me a situation picture. I
Right.
didn't send him anything but a face picture.
And up until that time, up until the time where she left, she still was having that dialogue with him where it was like, okay, my husband saw the picture, you know what I mean? He didn't approve of it, but thank you anyway.
Did you do that?
No, I did not do that.
That is a lie.
You know, I gotta say, some random guy, even if I knew him, even if I used to date him a long time ago, even if I dated him a long time ago, he sent me a picture of his situation, I would be immediate
and I
delete.
have blocked him. He's deleted. He's deleted. He's deleted to this day, right now, for him. He's deleted. There's
But
no
I wouldn't even have to delete it for him. I don't want to see all of that on the phone.
Up until the time
I
she
hear you.
left.
Why would you keep that?
Why would I keep it? Because it wasn't that important to me. If it
But
was important to me, I
right?
would have erased it. But it wasn't nothing that I just flipped through and saw
if you got
through.
that
But
dialogue going with
You
it.
flipped through it, you saw that, and didn't get to have the urge to delete anything.
to do what? No. I should have deleted it, but I didn't delete
That's
it. I'm
just
not gonna
nasty,
lie.
though. You know
Up
what
until the
I
time,
mean?
hey, Your Honor, up until the time when
That's
she
just,
left.
it lacks class. And, you know, you
That's
married to another man,
That's
and
right.
you got
It
another
should have
guy.
been deleted. It's right. I correct that. It should have been deleted.
Holy moly!
Up until the time where she left.
Where
Up until
I
the time where
left.
she left.
What happened when she left?
No, I'm saying up until she was keeping this dialogue with him up until the time that she left.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? And it's like, okay, well, I seen it, but you still keeping it going. You still keeping in contact. You still keeping this, dialogue going.
Right, right.
the dialogue-
Other than that, do you believe she's actually cheating on you, or is that not that isn't huge? I mean,
Right.
my husband and I would have some deep discussions
Right.
about if we saw something like that on each other's phone. But are there other things that make you suspect, or do we pretty much cover it?
We covered it. I mean, there was, one time where we were supposed to jointly, have threesome. And so we were to pick the girl together. But at this time, she took it upon herself to meet the friend and do the friend. Or the friend did her. The friend did her. I'm sorry, the friend did her.
I don't know the curse is gonna come. Yeah.
I know. I was born 20 years too late. My prime should have been. Really?
Really? Really?
I don't think you at all understand my dismay.
I do.
I mean, the whole idea that you bring in, random, radicalized, free
Thank you.
over there just to do this, that, and the other thing. You sleep, you up there doing who knows what. Have you been living together for years but find that splitting up is as complicated as getting a divorce? Call toll-free at 1-877-311-2222 or visit our website at divorcecourt.com. Don't forget to join the conversation on social media. Go to facebook.com/divorcecourt and follow us on Twitter and Instagram @divorcecourt. If you would like your case to be heard on Divorce Court, call us toll-free at 1-877-311-2222 or log on to our website at divorcecourt.com. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram @Divorce Court. So, Ms. Dooley, tell me your version of the almost threesome story.
My version of the almost threesome story was that he asked me for it, 1.
Right.
2, when I moved out to California from my family and everything else, okay, that's what he wanted. But with you leaving
We
me
wanted it together.
Hang on, Mr. Williams.
with him leaving me at home by myself with 4 children and coming home on the weekends and doing what he does, not caring about us, not giving anybody any time, yeah, I seek attention. And to me, that's not cheating. So
he can't go to get a burger without telling you. That's a problem.
Right.
But you have sexual relations with another person, and that's not cheating to you because
Another woman?
this
No.
man is working. So it has to
Working.
do with.
no, working he can do, but what he needs to understand is that working, I had 2 jobs in California before he even went back to his job. Mm-hmm. So was I able to fulfill those jobs? No, because he told me not to take it. And so the fact that I don't work, it's whack.
Well, that's not what I was talking about.
Yeah, you're talking about the females and the other stuff, but no. I can't do it. Like,
reason why
no,
I told her
I
not to
feel
work
like it's
because the
not cheating
situation wasn't
because,
right.
and even when I had my friend come over, I had a friend come over. He was drinking and passed out.
11 o'clock is
We-
not passed out.
Hang
11
on.
o'clock is sleep.
It was about 12 noon.
No,
it was about
not no
noonish.
12 noon.
The sun
So
was
what
still
happened
up.
when? What happened?
No, it was not no 12
What happened
noon.
was we woke him up. He didn't wake up. We went upstairs and we played, and that was the end of it. And he was still asleep at the end of it.
11 o'clock, Judge, is not
At noon.
sleep.
Yeah,
11
to
o'clock
him.
is nighttime.
It's 11
Y'all,
o'clock. to him every day.
y'all arguing over what time of day.
Look, hey, Judge,
The failed threesome occurred.
listen, when you do your due, you don't do it at 12 o'clock in the day, you do it at night, right?
I don't think that's relevant.
It doesn't matter.
I don't think you at all understand my dismay.
I do.
I mean, the whole idea of it, you bring in, random, radicalized, free
Thank you.
over there just to do this, that, and the other thing. You sleep, you up there doing who knows what. Somebody say something that's not going to upset me.
It's a lot gonna upset you.
Is there anything else you think I need to know about Ms. Dooley?
I love her. I love her, and I think she's a good person. She has a good heart. I just, think some of her ways is like kind of out of attitude, crookedness. I mean, not crookedness,
Attitude
but
issues.
just attitude issues.
Attitude
anger
issues.
issues.
Gotcha.
And anger issues. Anger for just angry just because.
Just because.
Just because.
Wake up angry.
Wake up angry.
No particular reason, whatever. Mad,
Wake up
cussing and
angry.
fussing
Yep.
out the gate. Mrs.
Sky is
Dooley,
nice
are
and
you
blue.
cussing and fussing out the gate?
No, I'm not.
You
Your
cuss.
Honor.
Do you have an attitude
the
problem at all, Ms.
I
Dooley?
I'll admit I have an attitude problem, but my attitude problem only comes out when he's been drinking or when there's something else. When he goes to the touchy-feely place, and like I said, when he's drinking, I don't want to be touched. I'd rather you be sensible, because if he hasn't been drinking, he's sitting on his phone like this. He's not touching me.
She has an attitude when she don't got THC in her life. If she don't have THC in her life, attitude. But
Oh,
when she got
okay.
it, she cool.
She cool.
She cool.
All righty. Be a part of the divorce court conversation on social media. People always have something to say. We put new clips on Instagram every week. You, him, and a sugar daddy all lived in one house?
Yes.
Can't make this stuff up. You can follow us on Facebook and check out our Twitter feed. You can also use the resources on our new website, divorcecourt.com. So, Mrs. Dooley, Ms. Dooley, you want me to award you $1,700 for money you say you spent for one or two of the canceled weddings.
It was the one, the
just
first
the
one.
the first one. The hall deposit for $1,000, dress was $600, jewelry $100.
Yes.
Do you have any evidence of any of these expenditures?
I have the dress, but I do not have the receipts from the rest of them.
Beautiful dress,
Thank you.
$599. There you go.
And that was
Now,
a joint
who
thing.
do you claim canceled that first wedding?
I canceled
canceled
it, but
both
that's
of 'em.
because I couldn't marry somebody that didn't have respect for the two most important people in my life.
Ms. Dooley shouldn't have been drunk and passed out, no doubt about it. There were some other adults there, so it's not as traumatizing as I
One.
believe
Right.
it was. But for you to cancel a wedding because of something like that, and you had to know the
Petty.
guy was a drinker, and drinkers don't
She drink
often
with
choose
me.
when they're gonna fall out. They just fall out when they do.
She
and
drink
for you
with
to
me.
cancel
Wait, she
out a
drink with
wedding,
me.
that is silly. And you stayed with him. You have a kid with him. Your kids treat him like their father. You can't be silly. You were mad because he excused himself from a situation and had a burger. You went off and slept with another woman. You think he should be okay with that, but mad
He
because the
did the
man went and had a
same,
burger
though.
and didn't tell you where he was.
He did
you
the
gotta
same.
listen. You need to get it together, but I will tell you this. You canceled the wedding. It was your decision. The bad is on you. He doesn't owe you that money. He would have married you if he was, he'd have sobered up and walked down that aisle.
All right.
He didn't make the decision
All right.
to cancel the wedding. Therefore, I cannot award you any money for it. There will be no recovery in this matter. It is so ordered. People like Maneika see the bad in everybody else without turning the mirror around and seeing the bad in themselves. Call us toll-free at 1-877-311-2222.